Howdy everyone, Jasper here with the beginnings of another parts sorting vlog. Today I had a question asked, and this question's been popping up recently from new and prospective AFOLs and teen foals, and the question is, how do you go about and start building up a Lego collection? That's kind of a tough question to answer because I can't really give a definite answer. Say, okay, you need to start buying this set, you're going to have to buy these parts. It depends. The first thing, in my experience, especially when I came out of my dark ages, is what things interest you. Do you get interested in cars? Do you get interested in buildings? It just depends on what you're interested in. So buy a few sets. Now, if you're not too sure if you're going to like getting into the hobby of Lego, buy a few sets. Don't go out and buy these elaborate, big, expensive sets. And we're going to talk about, the first thing is budget. You have to set yourself a budget. And my apologies if I'm bumping out of the camera's view. I am trying to find out where all these pieces are going to go because I'm still trying to sort parts that have been here for like millions of years. But a budget is the first thing you want to start with. Now, a good budget is, don't blow your budget. Well, a good point of your budget is don't blow it. My budget is up to $300 a month. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I'm under. Usually I'm around that target number. But do something that you're comfortable with. If you are a teen fall or somebody who's getting into Lego, don't go and start spending, literally thousands of dollars into the hobby. Okay? I've seen big mistakes happen with that. You don't want to spend all that kind of money getting into, unless you really want to, blow your chips and do that kind of stuff. But, from an experienced Lego builder like myself, you want to start small. And let me give you an example here. I'm sorry I'm moving slow right now. I'm trying to find 20 million containers of Lego because I need to get this bin sucked down before my summer trip. And I'm finding a lot of these bricks with knobs. Okay, I have one with slopes. Ooh, that orangey yellow bicycle that everybody says is worth billions of dollars. You want to start off with sets. If you're not sure, start off with a small set like this. It's a friend's set. I know a lot of guys don't like these things. Let's take a look. Oh, let's get to this one here. Now, this is a good starter set. Is a creator. Not only that you can build the model that's shown on the box, you can also build these other two models, or you can make your own creations. And these are a good source for parts. So if you're exploring Lego, of course this one I got on clearance. I'm going to have to get this off before I do the review on it. As you can see, there's some great parts here. You can build all kinds of stuff. And you get a little more into Lego and you're really sure about the hobby, you can start buying big sets like this. These can run anywhere from $50 to $60. This one here can run about, $15 to $20. It depends on where you get them at. So, you can get some bigger sets. Or if you're really into it, and I'll show you, let me get my camera off its tripod mount. You can get to something like the Ghostbusters. It has 4,600 pieces. This is pricey. This is $350. So you could see how how much your budget can be blown real quick. But in order to start off with the hobby, you don't want to start with something big unless you really want to invest into it. If you really like the theme or something, then by all means go crazy on it. But if you're wow. I swear I need to get like an escalator in here. But you want to start off small, and it's all about budget. I have one Ninja Turtle We'll throw him in the bin here full of the random stuff because he's random. Let's put this in here. This is for Technic. And you know, when you get to parts like what I'm doing here, this does get elaborate with 20 million Scooby-Doos and Shaggies and stuff. And by the way, there is a haul coming up. I ordered a container from Lego to display all my figures. So I'm actually, you know, getting caught up with stuff, which is cool. You know, also you got to think about where to store your Lego. And this is kind of like a problem, especially with myself. This was meant to be a small collection. And matter of fact, if you see my collection videos, it's about twice as worse as it was before. I have tons and tons of parts. I have too many parts. And, you know, you can never not have too many parts with Lego. However, it can grow out of hand. So if you're limited on space, you know, make sure you plan out for that, because it can be a hobby that can get out of control really quick. You know. Also, if you're like me and you like to build mocks and stuff, the number one thing you don't want to do is demolish your sets and throw them in a bin and forget them for later. Because I'll tell you, going through this is a pain in the rump. Now I got to find the box with all the animal figures, and I don't know where it's at, so it'll just get thrown on the floor. But as you can see, though. But you know, it just depends on a personal preference. I would start off with small sets. If you want to build a large city and you want to obtain lots of parts, you're going to have to scour around like Bricklink and such. And basically that's a site where you order your parts from. It depends on what seller you go through. Have I had good luck? Yeah, pretty much good luck. I've had some that overprice for parts, but that's a whole nother rant. But it can get pretty pricey. But if you're planning on building a city in the future, and here's the thing, a lot of people expect to go out and buy all these parts at once. You don't need to go out and shop for every piece you need. There's some pieces that I'm still building up in my collection, like keys. You know, I mean, I probably have about 20 keys, but that took years to do. I know some that are getting into the hobby, and they're already spending like thousands of dollars a month, and I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, I want to have a lot of pieces. I want to be able to build the cool stuff like you and stuff. And, you know, and I know some message me and go, well, Jay, Lego's very pricey. What do I do? I want to build the cool stuff like you do. Well, the only thing I can say is, like I said, is to, you know, to get sets, collect the parts. But it matters about price matching your pieces. I spend more time doing research on who sells what cheap than going out and buying it. And honestly, sometimes you can find the stuff cheaper on Lego. Lego's own website, they have a pick-a-brick wall. And you can get the parts. You can get them in bulk, but it's going to be pretty pricey in the long run. If you just need a few parts here and there, it's fine. I have one plate that just doesn't want to go in the plate drawer. It's just like collecting accessories. Now, if you're getting into Lego and you want to get accessories, I'm going to tell you right now, let me find the minifig stuff, which I probably won't be able to find it. Is that it? Oh, yes it is. To buy or get sets with accessories, guys, hold on to your britches. Friend sets. These have tons and tons of accessories. Like you got a purple laptop. I don't know anybody who has purple laptops. The drawers. You know, who is this? Emma. Just pretend like she's not in the picture, and then you got a lot of accessories. I'm hoping that some of this stuff is printed, which I highly doubt it. But you can see you got a lampshade, you got some hair ribbons, all kinds of stuff. Take a look at this one. This is the Heart Lake News Van. Cover up the figures. What do you see? You got a windshield, you got steering wheel, You got all this other crazy stuff. Matter of fact, I think the hat on this guy and the hairpiece, these are pretty much are compatible. I know the hairpiece is. But look at accessories. Like, take a look at the news van. Matter of fact, I'm going to point this out real quick because something just occurred to me and I don't want to forget it. I swear I'm getting caught up in Lego. I'm swamped up, and that's another thing. You don't want to get too swamped up and your spouse or significant other gets a little crazy over it. You know, here we got the travel trailer. I have the other one, but if you look, these things almost open up the same way. And this is another set. This is a nice starter set. You could start on this one too. You get two figures. You get a puppy, a nice barbecue grill. You get to build a vehicle. This is a good starter set if you're planning on building a city or you want to start and get into the hobby. And this is usually, these go for about $20 for 250 pieces, $25. I haven't reviewed this yet, obviously, because it's still sealed. I'm planning on reviewing this up in the mountains when I'm on my vacation, along with the other mocks that I'm doing. So I'm going to be bringing some of my mocks on vacation. Yeah. Seeing how they did this, but I don't like the way they build their vehicles. But this is a good one. You get a mug and stuff like that. That's how you would get all these accessories. Alright. Now, if you're looking for plain, basic bricks, you can get the, I think it's called Lego Basic, where it's just very basic bricks. Also, if you're looking for basic bricks, alright, and you need basic bricks in some weird colors, here's another thing. Minecraft. I know a majority of the Lego community is not into Minecraft, but take a look. These sets have tons of basic bricks. It's very basic. Minecraft is a open-ended sandbox game, and it uses basic building blocks. This has got basic stuff. It has some accessories, like a sword and stuff. Very basic. This has lots of basic stuff. No custom. Okay? No custom stuff. But you have to understand that you got to pace yourself in buying. I'm not saying going out and buy all these sets at one time, you know. And you're probably thinking, some of you watch my videos and go, Jay, how do you get like 20 sets that are unopened? Well, I get most of my sets on sales. So if you're getting new into Lego, look for sales, look for deals. There's always Lego sets on sale. If you're a mock maker, like myself, you would end up in building, you know, your own custom creations. Just look for sets for the parts you need. You don't have to build the set, you know, but if you're interested in doing that, build it, see how they build it. And that's another thing we could talk about, is gathering ideas. A good source of ideas is from Lego sets, as well as from tutorials on YouTube, like my tutorials and such, and other tutorials as well. There's plenty of information on how to use a Lego brick and put things together. So, there's lots of things that are put up from various Lego communities. And, you know, going through the ideas and stuff, you just have to play around with Lego. It's a fun hobby. You can get into it. There's some that take this hobby on the serious side, so if you know, and seriousness, I mean, this is business, you know. For me, this is a hobby. This is fun. And when the point is, don't make it your job. Okay, so if you're getting into this, don't be like, oh, man, I'm going to have to whip out a video, or I have to work on my city. I have to do this. Because when you start have to work on stuff, you're not going to get pretty far and you're going to hate it. And I notice I'm doing more talking than I'm actually sorting. Isn't that cool, huh? It's just so many little tiny pieces. I don't even want to... I'm starting to cringe. This is going to give me nightmares. Is that printed? Oh, yeah, that's a printed hamburger bun. And to get hamburger buns, the Scooby-Doo sets have these. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in getting into the hobby, great. And I'm going to show you how intense things can get. When you get things sorted out and you get a lot of pieces, and you spend about 20-30 years doing what I'm doing here, you know, you can end up with a whole entire grocery store full of Lego food. This has taken a long time to collect. So, you know, if you're getting into this hobby and you want something like this, either you can spend a lot of money and get it, or you can be like me and slowly gather up the parts. How do you get some of this stuff? You can hit on Bricklink. You know, some sellers, they sell this stuff next to nothing. It's pretty dirt cheap. Some of these, like these bananas, go for probably 3 or 4 pennies. You know, it's not bad. You know, you can get probably 20 carrots for $1. It just depends on who you go through. And then pretty soon you got a whole entire setup. You know, or you can really get elaborate and you can start having a collection like this. You obviously can't see a whole lot, but you know, that's how you pretty much get into it. And this hobby, if you're not pacing it right, it can get out of control real quick, both financially and space-wise. I've seen a lot of people where they had to go and buy a new house just to get more space for their collection. If I can't fit it in this room, I have a problem. Well, that problem is slowly creeping up on me because I have a feeling that this 12 by 12 foot room is not going to be enough to house all my Lego, because it just is. I just don't have the space to keep everything cramped. I try to keep everything in a closet, and that's also another thing, is where you're going to put your collection. I try to stuff my collection inside of a closet, so when there's guests over, they don't even know what's in here. Especially if you're an AFOL that's still in the closet, and you don't want anybody knowing you're building stuff out of Lego. But when they see the Lego brick, they're going to get suspicious, especially if you don't have children, you know, and so on and so forth. I hope everybody makes sense out of my rambling. But, you know, those are some of the things that you got to think about when you're getting into Lego. This is a fun hobby, but it can get pricey, and it can start taking up space pretty quick. It depends on what you're building and how long you've been collecting. I've seen some collectors, they've just gotten back into this, and they have a larger collection than me. Although they had to spend the bucks to get it, I wouldn't recommend that. It's just all about preference, though. I mean, I know some people who want to burn that money and buy a biggest collection possible. But the best thing is, in the end, you have to use your judgment. Okay, just use your judgment and be like, okay, I want to get into this hobby. I'm just going to buy a Lego set, a small one. I'm going to put it together and see, you know, do I really want to get into this? Oh, okay, I love this stuff. I love putting things together. Okay, well, I'm going to buy another set. Okay, I got 2 vehicles. I'm going to buy a house. And honestly, it's going to catch on real quick. Like rabies, you know, it'll catch on really fast. Yeah, but it is a very fun hobby. You just have to take your time with it, because it can get out of hand fast. So I'm hoping that this kind of helped everyone out, especially if you're getting into this hobby and you just want to get your feet into Lego. Or if you're thinking about expanding a collection, you don't need to have all the pieces at once. Take your time, enjoy it, enjoy collecting slow. You know, if you're, you know, it's better to start off slow anyways, because I know some who have gotten into Lego and they're absolutely bored of the hobby and they don't want to do it anymore, and they spent thousands of dollars that they can't get back, because Lego, unfortunately, especially if it's used, it doesn't have a very high appreciation value. It's like a car. Once you drive it off the lot, that's it. It just dropped. You know, you just lost money on it. Unless you have some very rare exotic sets that are not opened. And I know a few YouTubers who do that. You know, they have some very rare stuff. You can get your money back on those. Oh, there's another printed hamburger bun. That will come in handy for a mock. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. I think this video's long enough. I'll have to see how well it came out and hope I don't have to reshoot it again. Yeah, so if you're going to get into this hobby, just pace yourself. There's no need to rush. Just be like, okay, I'm going to do what Jay says. And I'm just going to buy a few sets, get my feet into Lego, and be like, okay, I like this. This is fun. Or, yeah, I'm not really into Lego. This is not what it's cracked up to be. You know, there's some good and bad points about it. But at the end, you have to be the judge. I can't tell you, you know, this is a fun hobby. You should get into it. Just get your feet wet into it. If you only spend $20 or $30 on a set, hey, it's $20 or $30 you tried instead of spending, you know, $5,000 or $10,000 and being like, oh man, what the heck did I get myself into? I don't even know if I can get my money back. So anyways, that's pretty much about it. And I lost the bin for these weird colored pieces. So anyways, thank you all for watching. And there will be more to come later. And I could use that for something cool.